Hi, welcome to this demo of the Boolean Maths platform. Today we'll cover some main features of the Boolean Maths platform, including Shopify tracking, attribution, and conversion APIs. So the first thing you need to do is just log into the platform. If you don't have an account, you can create one. I already have an account, so let me just log in using that. It's going to ask for a few permissions which are necessary. And that's it, you're logged in. If you're logging for the first time, then you should add a brand. I don't really need to add a brand, so I'm just going to go back to my dashboard and pick an existing brand. Once you've added a brand, there are two ways to install your pixel. The first way, if you're using a Shopify store, is directly go to the Shopify App Store, search for Boolean Maths, and install it from here. The second is if you are not using a Shopify store, if you have your own custom website, then you can generate a pixel code from within the platform and essentially just install that on your website. So this one's installed on our booleanmaths.com website, and as you can see, it's been validated. On top of that, you can also install other events to track other activities. For example, we have events that track people clicking on the book demo button, or people clicking on the install button, or people filling up a contact form. Similarly, if you have any other custom events that you want to track, then you can install those from one of these custom event codes. For example, we can use this code to set up a login event. Once the installation is done, the second thing that's most important is connecting ad accounts. It's incredibly easy. For example, I'm going to quickly connect my Meta ad account. Just click on Meta, click on connect, and it will reroute me to Facebook's login portal. And it will ask me if I have to want to connect this ad account to Meta, to Boolean Maths. I'm just going to reconnect, and it will take a bit of time. Give it a few seconds, and it's done. It's going to give you a list of all the accounts that are currently within that Meta account. So, for example, I don't need this account, and I don't need this account, and I don't need this account either. So I'm just going to save this mapping with the accounts that I want to connect with this brand. Once this mapping is saved, then I can safely close this. The same thing for Google. Once the ad accounts are connected, then the last thing you need to do is set up URL parameters on your campaigns so that any URL clicks that you get in a campaign, those come enriched with these UTM tags, which allows us to attribute sessions to them. So the UTM tags that we add are, basically on which AdWords has been used, which keywords have been used, which campaign ID has been used. So for Google, it's pretty simple. You just have to implement it once and it will implement it directly on your ad platform. For Meta, you will need to actually copy it and go and paste it in your campaigns. Once all of this setup is done, then you are set and you're ready to go. First thing you can do is see which users are coming on your portal. Just pick on another brand, which has some more data. So you can start by seeing which users are coming on your portal. So these are all the users that are coming to my portal. I can see the traffic source, what all events they have come, where did they come from, and what is the IP address. And we also generate a fingerprint ID for each user that comes on board based on what the device characteristics and what the browser characteristics is. And this stays the same across multiple sessions. If the same user comes, say, 2 days later or 2 months later, we'll be able to re-identify them based on their fingerprint ID. Another thing we do, for example, and the moment a user fills a form or they go to a checkout page where they provide additional information, we start creating that profile so that you have more information on that user. So, for example, this particular user provided an email ID, so we have more details on that user. Let's just quickly go into the user profile. You can see a log of all the events that have been done by this user. You can see the transactions he's done. So you can see that, he's basically purchased just one item, and that too today. We can also quickly see at an event level what data is capturing. So we can see that, we're capturing an event ID, the URL on which this event happened, the Facebook click ID. So basically this user came from Facebook. So this is the click ID for that Facebook campaign. This is what we will use to connect all the user sessions, all the user activity in the session with the original Facebook campaign click. That is something we'll do over here. So we are sending this event back to the ad platform, which is Meta. and Meta has basically told us, what, this sync was successful. So this event was successfully synced with Meta via conversion APIs. Yeah, and you have basically have some more data on basically what was the search for this particular campaign, what is the path name, and so on. Yeah, so basically all in all, we track everything, we filter it, we enrich it, and then we send on to your ad platform so that they can get rich data. That's how we track users. Next thing we're going to look at is orders. So at order level, we do some more analytics and some more enrichment. So for example, this is not the latest orders, but you can see that there are other orders throughout this time. Now we'll also calculate your total revenue, how many orders, what's the average order value, how many returning users, how many organic, how many canceled, and so on. What's the average conversion time? We'll give you a conversion time at a order level. We'll also give you what the user journey was before converting. So for example, this user journey, this particular user had 3 sessions, 1 from Facebook and 2 from Instagram before converting. Another user might have just 2 sessions or 5 sessions. For example, this user had, I think, 7 sessions. The first was organic, the next 3 were from Instagram, 2 were from Google search, and then the final 2 were again from Instagram. And after that, they finally converted. So this really gives you insight into how many times a user is touching you before they are converting. Like, for example, this particular user had seen 23 paid ads before they finally converted. So often it's one ad is not enough to convert. So this actually gives you insight into, how many times the user needs to see an ad before they're able to convert. So that's all the details that I can give you on orders. I will quickly go to Ads Manager and see what you can get over there. Yeah, so at Ads Manager, you will get both a summary of all campaigns and all the data that we are getting from Meta. But on top of that, along with the amount spent, CPM, CTR, clicks, all that we are getting from Meta, we'll further enrich it with the orders and revenue. So how many orders we are seeing and what's the revenue we are seeing for those orders and what's the corresponding ROAS. And this order is not just simply orders that happened in any session that was oriented from Meta. That's something that Meta will do. What we will do is we'll give you the option to choose an attribution model. So you can choose linear or first touch or last touch. And accordingly, this will change based on the model that you choose. Yeah. So for last search, it's slightly different. You have 9 orders. For linear, we had 9.2 orders. Since there's only one ad platform working, there isn't a lot of difference. But with multiple ad platforms, this can vary a lot. Yeah, so that's how your ads and ad analysis work. Let's quickly jump to dashboards. Yeah, so within dashboards, to give you access to 3 dashboards. The first dashboard is Web Analytics. So Web Analytics gives you insights into what your traffic and traffic source looks like. So how many users are coming to your platform, what sessions, how many sessions are they having, what's the traffic source for all those users. Just give it a second to load. Yeah. So it gives you insights into how much of it is paid, how much is organic, what are the different traffic sources they're coming from, and basically what all pages they visited. Gives you insights into what all is happening on your website. And we can always add more charts to this based on what exactly you require. There's some cool time filters to further change it. So if you want breakdown at a day level, you can do that. If you want to break down at an hour level or a week level, you can do that as well. Similarly, there's user activity. This is what's happening on your store. So how many visitors, how many ordered items, how much total order value, and so on. And similarly, a funnel for that. Yeah, so funnel for that, basically from each source, how many events originated, how many sessions, how many visitors, how much was added to cart, and how much actually finally ended up being ordered. So for example, you can see that for direct sessions, the conversions from add to cart to orders is actually less than 10%. It's 5%. But for Instagram sessions, conversion from add to cart to orders is almost 10%. There's something that you can look at. There's something that this brand can look at. Yeah. And finally, we have attribution dashboards. So attribution dashboards actually show you what your conversions look like based on attribution model. So if I take a first search model, then this is what my distribution looks like. If I say switch to last search, it will change slightly. The share of Google drops down further. The share of Facebook drops down even further. I can even choose something like linear or paid linear. We have multiple attribution models, and we can choose the one that works best for you. Or you can also see the trend over time, and you can compare different attribution models and see which one's contributing the most. Yeah, I can also see this user journey is most frequent. So the most common user journey over here is 2 sessions. Both of them are coming from Instagram. The second most is 2 sessions, both of them from direct. All right. The final feature I want to highlight is our short link generator. This is extremely similar to Bitly, but a couple of things we can do that Bitly can't do is, on top of creating the link, we can also help you track exactly what's happening on the store. So basically, not just what's happening on clicks, but what's happening beyond clicks on how many checkouts were started, how many purchases happened, what is the value of the purchase. We can do all of that. And since we work with a lot of influencer platforms, another thing we can do is you can create influencers. So I have created 2 influencers. So I created 2 influencers for this particular brand, and we can attach multiple links to an influencer. So for this particular influencer, there's a lot of activity. For the second one, currently there's a lot of activity. And that's it. That's what the Boolean Math platform does for you. Hopefully you would install it, and we'd love to hear your feedback. If you need any help, do reach out to us at contact@booleanmaths.com, and we'll love to help you get started. Thank you.